What makes me successful as a DJ? I think it's the interaction between me and the crowd, my personal selection. I kind of present to the crowd and try to take them on a journey. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but I think for all the years I'm doing it, it works pretty well.
How I got started was pretty interesting because basically I started when I was 8 years old. All my uncles and all my cousins were producers and DJs. So, you know, by default, I kind of got into DJing. So I really started taking it seriously when I was 18, started DJing in nightclubs and after hours, and eventually, you know, got into all the big Chicago nightclubs.
Because I got beat up by a guy when I was like a kid, and then it was by accident because he was running after me, so he jumped on me and then I started crying. I was like 14, and he's like, come over to my house, I'll make it up to you. And then he played Fat on the Land by Prodigy, and I'm like, you want to make it up to me? Let me borrow this CD. So he borrowed it to me, and it blew my mind. Like,
what I like most about this industry really is it's so unpredictable, because you know how Chicago is very oversaturated with top 40 and, you know, a lot of commercial music on the radio or hip hop or what have you. And I've been fortunate enough to be able to DJ in clubs and DJ maybe roughly 6 nights out of the week, sometimes 2 or 3 gigs a night, and basically cater and play what I want to play, cater to the crowd to a certain extent. At the same time, I'm very blessed just being able to give my side of dance music as opposed to just playing what the radio wants you to hear, basically.
I think our music isn't unique. We just have our own handwriting, which is something you develop over the years. And you know, we're not inventing the wheel new. It's there, and we're just putting a little bit more extra bits and pieces in a niche, and try to give our handwriting into it. And yeah, I think that describes our Tiefschwarz sounds, and yeah, just try to improve it.
Prodigy, Chemical Brothers, Dr. Alban, I was listening, It's My Life, It's My Life.
Oh yeah,
that was one of the biggest, you know, yeah, Too Unlimited, no.
It's different because like it seems like, you know, the more you like do it, it's like the more you get inspired. Like the longer it's almost like the older, I hate to say use the word older, but the older you get these different inspirations. And I feel like when I was younger, it used to be the faster, the harder, the better. But now it's like the slower, the sexier, it's the better. So, but I'm only 26, and I feel like I'm 46 in the music industry because I just like it slower and a lot of melodies and good vocals, especially in the key of A minor, because that, you know, it's very goosebumpy, if that's all.
Let's talk about electronic music, and this changed a lot, and it hasn't changed a lot. It's funny because the bass is always kind of this house pattern, even if you talk about techno or house, but the influences from like fashion or from like lifestyle into the music, and the development through all these interferences changed the music over the years. And there was a period in the beginning of the 2000s where bands played a big role, electro, clash, and then suddenly it was minimal techno. Berlin was this very, like, how can you say, like a magnetic center for dance music. And it's like before that it was New York house or Chicago or disco or France. It's like the little influences from left and right, but it's all based on this house pattern, and that makes it strong, and it's the best rhythm to dance to, I guess. So that holds it.
America has taken something, and they, like hip hop, in a sense, when hip hop came out in the late 80s, they took it and they just mass produced the same sound over it to just change, like, to go ahead and try to make as much money out of it as possible. And right now, they're coming out with these tracks that are just horrible, and trying to make as much money out of it. The only thing that's good at it, I gotta give props to Lady Gaga, because the fact is that she's actually quality, and she's bringing actually dance music to the American mass, which is awesome. And everybody's starting to realize, because we were talking about this probably about 4 years ago, like when is like dance music gonna go ahead and actually hit America and be popular? And now it's actually starting to hit. You notice all these hip hop songs, every hip hop song's got like a 4 and a 4 beat, and a lot of melodies, and these trance melodies, and whatever. It's cool. I'm glad that everybody's getting into it, but I mean, it's almost a good thing for us, because the fact is that we're trying to go deeper than that and beyond that and try to introduce new music, but because, you know, when you hear something on the radio, the consistency of it lasting on the radio is about 6 months. With the DJ, consistency of a track is about 3 weeks. You know, Boyan will have a great track and he'll be lucky if he plays it for 4 weeks in a row, because it must be really hot. But if it's not, he'll play it 1 week, 2 weeks, and then something new will come up. But now on the radio, on American radio, Sexy Bitch by Akon was on the charts for like months, and I was just like, oh my God, like stop, can we hear something else already? Like,
people got brainwashed and it was sexy bitch in every club.
Just having that virgin crowd that doesn't know who I am, and just being able to have them in the palm of my hand, which is, you know, it happens. And what I tell a lot of people is you can't have great sets every single night, or else you take this job for granted. You gotta have one of those 2 or 3 magical moments.
It's not the club, it's the artist who can destroy himself. There are very good artists, excellent artists, who just took advantage of getting things free, whether it be, you know, drinks or drugs. And that's, you know, if you can't control yourself around that kind of environment, you can really mess up your career very easily.
I think you only help yourself or destroy yourself, you know. I mean, a club can be good or bad, but if it's really bad, you just say, fuck off and leave. I don't know, you know, it's like, it's more in your outside of yourself than in the outer world.
because the fact is it's so powerful. When you first step into it, it's like, oh, all the girls and all these drinks and all this, but, and then you like wheedle it back into like going ahead and like making sure it's just all about the music, because that's the reason why you got into it. I mean, if you get into it for the wrong reason, you're not going to succeed. Because if you're in it for the girls, well, okay, you're going to go and play a couple popular tracks and get laid a couple times, and that's great for you. Awesome, but in a sense, if you're going to go and have longevity, do it for the music. Otherwise, it's just not going to work.
Be passionate, stay dedicated, and definitely don't, what's the word? Don't compromise your style. I mean, definitely you just have to live what you love. And what I keep telling everybody, it's contagious. I believe in my set, and when people see that they believe in it, they will dance no matter what you do or say. They will dance.
Tiefschwarz is an exclusive sound, and make us each element of us makes us as one, like a transformer. So one of those, you know, so it creates one big robot, you know. So that's kind of us. Each of us, different styles of music creates one big one, and that's what creates us.
I'm the Iron Man.
Yeah.
And we're versatile because of that.
Yeah. So, and that's why people like us. It's different, and it always is surprising, and always something new and fresh from us, and it just different kind of chapters in one big book.
Well, I think it's one of the best jobs in the world if you forget about all the exhaustions, you know, traveling, flying, you know, you don't see your family or home that much, and it's a big compromise, but I don't want to complain because you see the world for free, and it's a decision to take it or not, you know. It's difficult, but on a high level, and I love it.
Since a kid, I've had 2 or 3 jobs. I went to school being a computer engineer, but obviously traveling and you know, DJing 6 nights out of the week, it's taken its toll. So definitely this is my primary gig. Like every DJ, this is a first generation of DJs, so we don't know what we do when we retire. There's no 401k, but I definitely want to see myself producing, developing young artists, making my own tracks and stuff like that. That's where I see myself in 20, 30 years.
Doing what we love doing and go with the flow.
Yeah, with this industry, the key is not to have any expectations, because as soon as you expect something, it just flips on you and you're on the street. You know, like to go with the flow and make sure you just throw a good party and everybody's, as long as everybody's having a good time. Like as a DJ, I would compare it to being, well, we're in a bar, so as a bartender, you're here to make drinks and make people happy. If you like this drink, okay. Doesn't matter what you serve. I mean, you're serving everybody different drinks. You know, you can't be like a very focused person like, I'm gonna play this type of music and screw everything else. You're not gonna make it. You know, and this is Chicago and this is the birth of house music. It's not gonna happen. you got to go ahead and be very versatile and like make sure that everybody's happy because you're a bartender to the crowd.